Okay, Mr. Matthews, do you think there is life on the Sun?
Maybe, but it will not be based on carbon. It'll be very different to our own.
So what do you think it will be based on then?
Most definitely on the surface.
Good evening, viewers, and on tonight's show we've got Mr. Matthews. He's going to talk about the Sun. We've got an orange theme tonight.
Thank you, viewers. You're so kind.
So what do we know about the Sun?
Well, it is round.
Yes, and to illustrate this point, viewers, Mr. Matthews has brought in a scale model of our favourite star.
Yes, and from this model you can see how orange it is and how it's mottled with craters.
Indeed it is. Can we have a close-up, Dave? Bring the camera in, yeah, you can see that. Right, well actually, it looks a bit like an orange.
Well, yes, the Sun does in fact have a soft spot for oranges. Although scientists are still no further now towards unravelling the question of which came first, the Sun or the orange.
Okay, do you think there is life on the Sun?
Maybe, but it will not be based on carbon. It'll be very different to our own.
So what do you think it will be based on then?
Most definitely on the surface.
No, I don't think you're understanding the question.
Okay, so let's have another try. Because it would be fairly hot, they would have to sleep all of the time on the solar surface to rest. So therefore any life form there would be based on sunbeds.
Sounds feasible to me. I've read recently in the press that there are Martians from the Sun already here on Earth, yeah?
That's correct, although Martians are from Saturn. People or things from the Sun should be called solariums.
There's a solarium in the high street where I live.
That proves my point. They're alive and kicking on Earth.
If they're kicking, that means they have legs.
No, not necessarily. They might walk on their hands.
Indeed, viewers, they might walk on all 7 of them. Wouldn't all the solar blood go to their heads then?
Yeah, of course. That's why solariums are so hot-headed. They can easily get good jobs down here on Earth. In fact, they work everywhere.
How do they get good jobs so easily?
By virtue of the glowing testimonials their previous employers always give them.
Before the show you mentioned that you were part of the first team of spacemen to orbit the Sun, yeah?
Yeah, true. I suppose we cheated a bit though, because we went out as far as Saturn and sat on a glacier on the surface for just over 29 years. Technically then we orbited the Sun because that's the time it takes for the gas giant to go round our Sun.
Didn't you get bored?
No, not really, although I did get very cold and rather stiff from sitting in the same place.
You mean you sat on a rock for over 29 years on another planet?
Well, not really. Sometimes I shuffled about.
Interesting. And anyway, and correct me if I'm wrong, after returning to Earth, viewers, the very next day you took off again in a spacecraft and were part of a team, the very first team, to actually walk on the Sun.
Yeah, that's true.
Here, viewers, is a bit of orange juice that Mr. Matthews brought back from the Sun. What was the name of your team leader?
Dunno.
What, you mean you didn't know the name of the person with total responsibility for the whole mission?
No. Anyway, he studied for one of my untrans before the launch and lost his job.
Oh right, and viewers, you know what an untran is. Mr. Matthews runs untrans and they train people in the art of untrainability and they're very successful, yeah? Where did the launch take place?
In Florida, otherwise known as the Sunshine State.
Where else, viewers? What was the name of the solar craft pod thingy that landed on the surface of the Sun?
Tangerine Segment.
Where did you land?
In a spot of bother.
Was there a problem then?
No, we landed on a sunspot which scientists happen to call bother.
Was that where you had set your heart on landing?
I don't know, I wasn't really bothered.
Where was this sunspot then?
On the Sun's North Pole. It was freezing.
Oh.
We did not have to worry though, as our team leader told us that further south the Sun has got its own central heating.
There's the Sun's North Pole, viewers. So what did you do then? Close up, yeah. What did you do then?
Well, we walked all the way to the equator of the Sun.
I expect you felt the heat on your shoes when you walked on the solar surface.
What shoes?
You mean you walked barefoot on the Sun?
Well, yes, I had a big blister on my heel and I didn't want to burst it.
Oh dear. What were the views like as you walked on the solar surface? Although I don't expect you could see much because the glare would have been too terrible. I expect you wore the ultimate in eye protection technology.
No, the glare was so bad I couldn't find them.
What, you mean, well, I don't know what to say. I expect the spacesuit you wore was so heavy you could hardly move.
What spacesuit? I wore a pair of summer shorts and a string vest.
How come you're still alive?
I only went on a short walk on the solar surface.
Oh, I see. Oh, that makes sense. Do you visualise excursions to the sun in our own lifetime?
Most certainly, yes. Give it 6 months.
Yes, and I expect they will be easy to arrange.
No, not necessarily, because we're currently in an overheated economy.
That's true. What's that in your hand, Mr. Matthews?
It's part of the corona. It's quite harmless, apart from the fact that I'm holding a small sort of a nuclear reactor in my hands.
Yes, it's quite hot to touch. So how come your hand doesn't get burnt?
Well, because I've just put sun cream on.
Right. Well, thank you, Mr. Matthews. I think we've all learned so much about our favourite star, the sun. Wow, thank you, Mr. Matthews. This guy's a genius.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.